Aloha, this is Todd Maki, just touching base with you today on Bitcoin and Litecoin as well as Ethereum. That's right, folks, I am live here in Hawaii. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually in Mexico, down in Camargo, visiting with some family here. Wanted to share with you some of the opportunities that are extravagant in this market coming up. We have opportunities for Bitcoin to go from its low this month of $2,900 all the way up to probably breaking the 5,000 mark by the end of the year. And I'll tell you, it was on the rise to well over 5,000 until China announced that it was going to be halting all activity in its exchanges, whereas they could not trade anywhere out of the so many billions of people in China were not able to exchange. So all of the cryptocurrency markets just suddenly fell to a standstill and took a nosedive, especially including the remarks from Jamie Dimon, who is the CEO of the largest trading bank in the country called JP Morgan. This JP Morgan Bank was also one of the few that actually got involved in the Federal Reserve basically beginnings. They have big ties to what's going on in government. Jamie Dimon has visited the White House more times this year than he has any other time out of all the other years that he's been CEO of JP Morgan. So there's a collaboration, I believe, going on with him, maybe possibly trying to take over the position of Federal Reserve Chairman after Janet Yellen. Now, the Federal Reserve, I can imagine, sees Bitcoin as a major threat, a threat to their policies on regulating the currency and basically the interest rates being at near 0%. There's really not much more they can do to regulate our currency here in the United States, which is the dollar. There's not too much. And so we're going to see a lot of slippage from people investing in the dollar. It's going to start to go down, and then assets that have always held up over time, such as silver and gold and other precious metals, will continue to take upticks in the market. But on a second note, you have a worldwide currency known as the Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies that are now starting to make headway into everybody's iPhones, Samsungs, and portable smartphone devices. So you'll see the trading start to creep up as they begin to move on to exchanges. And then as they start to use this currency, and there's going to be many more opportunities to use it in the future, you will notice that the dollar will continue to slide. Tax revenues will continue to decrease around the world. Slowly, the world will become dipping into a recessionary status as this phenomenon of peer-to-peer money sharing continues. And it not only will continue, but it will rise like nobody has ever seen before as the technology continues to get better and people start to take notice at the fact that their money does not become worthless. The inflationary structure of our banks today are horrible in that they continue to allow markets to steam up to the point where you think that they're doing really well, when in actuality, our stock market hasn't done so well as the PE ratio since 2012. However, you got these issues with inflation that are just going to continue people to use money that is worth less, hence the dollar being worthless over time, and their buying power will not be staying power. Their holding power will continue to decrease. So the longer you hold on to that dollar, it will lose value. There's a lot of people that have researched this, that have been involved in the cryptocurrency markets since before 2012, that have enlightened me in this new cryptocurrency era that we're in. And one of them happens to be Andre Antonopoulos, who I would recommend you visit at this time to see what he has explored in all of his years as a data programmer as well as a researcher of world currencies, and how this particular phenomena that's happening today is going to impact the rest of our lives for the future. So a few other things about this cryptocurrency. It's not only the fact that it has staying power, but it has other things that can be attached to it, such as what I'm referring to as the blockchain. I'm sure that you've probably heard of BitCoin, but Bitcoin is actually the beginnings of the blockchain. The blockchain is just a public ledger of contracts that are formulated by mathematical stimuli and essentially taking place in computers. There are multiple transistors and microchips that produce thousands and thousands of calculations a minute, that maybe a second, that produce formulas, right? And they come up with these ideas that we can see everybody's transaction going on in the network. So not only is it encrypted, but it's peer-to-peer. So basically, if you wanted to sell your house, you could sell it over the blockchain. If you wanted to have medical insurance and all of your medical data, you could put it on the blockchain and make sure that it's secure in this end-to-end encryption, so that everything that you're sending to this one person or group of people will have that data securely, as long as they have that passkey that you're giving them. So this passkey is key. The formulation of the code is random. That basically is on the ledger, but nobody knows what it is because they can't hack into it and see what it is, like the internet. So it's a really awesome phenomenon. You know how the internet took a few years for everybody to kind of get on it? Well, this blockchain, I imagine, is going to take a few years for everybody to get on it. But I'll tell you that the ending of the dollar will probably coincide with the rise of the Bitcoin and the other blockchain capabilities. So there's a lot of important things happening right now behind the scenes that we are not seeing. There's billions of dollars being invested into this new technology, and it's still unknown as to the huge capabilities as well as the policy implications that might take place in regards to that. So I just wanted to take this short amount of time to share with you my thoughts and what I feel is important with the upcoming threats, as well as responsibilities of us to be responsible public citizens with our money, basically being our own bankers, ensuring that we have secure wealth for our families in the future, and not rely completely on what's called a fiat currency. I think that it's good to know that there are other options available besides silver and gold if you're fearful of the dollar and it slide into oblivion with the national debt continuing to rise. But on that note, I wanted to say thanks again and stay positive, because the world is not going to end if the dollar does. There's other opportunities, there's other technologies that are going to quickly bring us out of whatever problems might exist in the future. So thanks again. I'll talk to you later. God bless, and I'll see you soon.